it looks like our host has disappeared. Yeah, that's not typical for Louisa if you've ever been on a call with her. I'm sure she'll be dialing back in. While we wait for her, I guess I would kind of maybe open it up and maybe ask, would anybody like to uh, put their hand up and throw out a question about district bucks? What is one thing that you're most kind of wondering about? What's top of mind for you around the district incentive program? I want to make sure that we hit on those points in our conversation today with our district director. Is there anyone that would like to go first? Jan looks like she might want to put her hand up. Go ahead.
Yes, thanks. What system does district have to verify that if we are claiming an expense out of Concur, that it's an authorized expense that's allowed to be, spending, authorized type of spending at the club level?
That's a great question. So to rephrase, you're wondering how do we or how does a club make sure that they are spending district bucks on eligible expenses? Is that correct? Or where do you
Yes.
keep track of that? Yeah, so the district bucks program is basically dollars for your club to spend towards eligible expenses as outlined by Toastmasters International. There are some things that we as a district have sort of added to that, but on the whole, if you look up the governance documents on what is considered an eligible expense by TI, that is what you can claim your district bucks towards. So some really popular items that we have had clubs claim in the past are things like your expenses for, let's say, Zoom accounts, or maybe you have expenses to book a room if you're doing an open house, or maybe you have regular fees in order to secure a space, beverage costs around holding an open house or a special kind of a meeting, things like that. Of course, items from the TI store and maybe sort of other supplies.
Melody, can I add to that? Just to help out Jan.
I hope that answers the question.
Yeah. When you do submit your expense on Concur, it goes to the finance manager first, so he has to approve it. So if it's not a valid expense, it won't get approved and it'll go back to you.
Harmeet.
Okay. Hello. My question, when you said eligible expenses for open house rentals, but how about if your meetings regularly happen in rented spaces? Could we use for that?
You can definitely use it for that.
Okay.
It has to be expenses that you've already paid out of pocket for those. So
Okay.
it can't be advanced payment for fees to be billed. It must be on a
Paid
receipt
already.
that shows there's already been a payment. Yes.
Okay, thank you.
So Carol was just referring to Concur. And does anybody know what Concur is, or have you heard of it? No? Jan, what's your interpretation of Concur?
Well, I was registered with Concur 2018, 2019 when I was on the district trio team, club growth director.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
And yes, I did submit and get authorized payments through that. So I'm familiar, but it was a while ago.
Okay. So not everybody will be familiar with Concur, but the long and short of it is that is the system used by Toastmasters International in order to reimburse eligible expenses that are submitted. There may be some other alternate ways that one could be reimbursed out of your district bucks allotment of credits. But Concur is the official method of getting that money back into the hands of it's primarily your treasurer. And in fact, Louisa would be telling you this evening that all of the treasurers for all of the clubs in our district, they have officially been set up for Concur. Okay. Now, if you've never used Concur before, there is the need to upload eligible receipts. And so there's some fields to fill out to sort of ask what expenses that you are submitting for. There's different categories. And then your corresponding receipt would be in line with that. And just as someone had mentioned, it would go through to our finance manager for first line approval. There are a few hands after that in which it would need to go for approval, but eventually the money would be returned to the bank account associated with your treasure. I'm going to ask Kathy.
Yes, thank you, Melody. The dates for expenses. So for instance, before the tax came into effect, we purchased some supplies. What dates can we submit expenses for? Can we go back to ones we submitted in late July, for instance?
That's a good question. Louisa is back. Louisa,
Yes,
did you hear
sorry.
that last question?
Something about what date can we submit, like how old can the expenses be? They need to be during 2025 or 2026.
So July the 1st, 25 to June 30th, 26?
We would accept up to January 1st, 2025,
Okay,
right? Because you might have bought out an annual subscription for the year, for
right.
example, right? Yeah.
Okay,
Okay.
thank
All right.
you.
So if everybody's, I'm not going to touch anything on my screen except my mouse to change the slides. Hopefully we are in stable now. All right. So first of all, thank you for your patience. How many of you are familiar with the District Bucks program at this point? Is there anybody that's used the District Bucks program in the past?
We had a few hands up that included Jan Ireland that sort of talked about it and a couple questions about what it generally is.
Okay. And then
There are
Harmeet,
some
I
people
see
that
your
know.
hand is up right now. Is that from an old time hat? You're muted. Press your space bar. Okay. All right. Well, I'm going to kickstart this and just introduce District Bucks, the program. We're very excited to run this for the second time. We ran this successfully last year with District 96, and District 57 has run it for a few years. District 39 and a number of other US districts have been running this program for a little while. What happened was during COVID, people did not want to be submitting the TI gift certificates. It was a hassle. You had to mail them in to headquarters, and then you didn't know what the exchange rate would be. You didn't know how much the tax, how much the shipping would be. And now we've got, in certain cases, tariffs. If you're ordering pins, for example, you'll be getting tariffs and customs and duty that gets charged. And we don't know what those amounts are. Often they're well over 30% of the cost of the original item. And it just wasn't feeling like a very positive way to reward people with such long delays in receiving things and so many hassles. So what we've done is created the District Bucks system. And what it is, it records the credits. The District Bucks are in Canadian dollars, and they're earned by the clubs by doing various incentive activities. These credits are then deducted from valid expenses that are submitted through Concur. And Concur is the Toastmasters online submission for expenses. Why are we rolling out this incentive? Well, like I said, every club has a different need for this program. And this way, the rewards will be what means the most to your members. And I'm going to ask everybody to just type in the chat, what are some examples other than membership dues, pathways, and new member fees what are the sorts of things that you're expensing to the club? What sort of things have you purchased over this last year or over the last couple of years? Just type it in the chat and I'll ask Melody to read them out.
We've got badges, ribbons for pathways, speechcraft expenses, mailing fees, postage, food, brochures, trophies. They all look like eligible expenses to me.
Yeah, absolutely. Are there any larger items? Does anybody bought audiovisual equipment for their club, or is anybody using Zoom or Eventbrite or other social media?
Yep. There's Zoom fees, rental spaces, banners,
Yeah,
picnic fees, lecterns, a whole bunch.
perfect. And the one big one that I don't think anybody mentioned is meeting room rentals. So if you're in a church and the church is charging you a nominal fee to meet there, absolutely that would be included. It would also include the reimbursement of the taxes that you paid for those items. So if you bought a bunch of pencils or pens for people to sign up for the membership forms, or made photocopies at the local Staples, and there was taxes on that, it would be the entire amount that we would be reimbursing. And what's also really great for this is the administration is a lot less, and we're also a lot faster to let you know how much have you earned, because it'll be shared on a leaderboard, and I'll show you that in a little while. We've also been exchanging Toastmasters International gift certificates. Is there anyone in the group that still has an envelope somewhere saved for many years of Toastmasters gift certificates, and you just simply haven't figured out what to use it for or agreed on what you're going to use it for? Is there anyone in the group? There we go. Jan, how much money do you have in TI gift certificates, Jan?
Oh my goodness, Raymond could help. We've talked about it so many times. Maybe a couple $100 at most.
I think we spent everything at the last year's convention.
Okay, very good. All right. And Devin's got her hand up. Do you have gift certificates in hand?
Sure do. I've got about 75 US dollars that's burning a hole in my pocket.
All
I can't
right.
wait to spend it one day.
What we're doing is exchanging those gift certificates on, so 50 US dollars would be 50 Canadian dollars, but you won't have to pay the taxes, the shipping, the duty, customs, all of that with the exchange. And then what's going to happen is you will have that added to your account. So 75 Canadian dollars added if you opt to do that. And then that amount is available to you to expense off of your District Bucks account. And in the meantime, the gift certificates are then used by the district to purchase more meeting materials, and banners, things that would be of use to the district. So no more duty, no more exchange rates, no more mailing hassles. And in order to do that, you can either mail the gift certificate to me, or you could give it to your area or division director when you see them next. All right. So we've already mentioned it, meeting materials, photocopies, speechcraft, AV equipment, Zoom accounts, meeting room venues, meetup, Facebook ads, flyers, and anything that you want to purchase at the Toastmasters International store, or any items that you want to purchase locally. Maybe you want to go to an independent bookstore and purchase some books for your club. Absolutely, that's no problem to do that. Or my favorite is to go to Staples and buy up highlighter markers and folders for timing sheets, that sort of thing. So absolutely anything that is a valid use of your money can be expensed. What cannot be used, and I'm going to share with you the list here. sorry. What cannot be used is Pathways educational material. So you get a path with your membership. If you're purchasing a second path, you would not be able to use district bucks for that. Parties and social gatherings, alcohol, scholarships, payment of dues for individuals by the club, that cannot be paid for with district bucks. And donating any money or goods to outside causes or individuals cannot be paid for by district bucks. You can purchase, last year we did a special where you could actually offset district bucks with conference attendance. And we'll be rolling out more information on that later on in the year once we've announced the conference. Do we have any questions regarding what you can and can't use district bucks for? All right, hearing none, I'm going to keep going. I did want to explain the incentives are the tasks that need to be completed. The incentive tracker is the leaderboard, the program that will show you, I'm about to show you this, what the incentives are and who in which club has completed those incentives. And then the district bucks is how much money your club will be authorized to expense. And then Concur is the system that Toastmasters uses to reimburse authorized expenses to your club's bank account. I'm going to stop sharing a second here. And I want to share the district bucks actually what it looks like. And the incentive tracker, I'm going to give you a link in the chat here, is the leaderboard. And where are we? Chat. Yes, you can copy of the presentation. We can send that out afterwards. Some of this presentation is going to be live. Okay, I'm getting that Zoom logging out thing again. I'm so sorry. There we go. Okay. In the chat. All right. In the chat is the link. And I'm going to ask maybe Melody, who's here, can click the link and share the link on the screen. And I will talk you through things. And if you want to click on the link yourself, you can see the actual web widgets, the leaderboard. Melody, are you able to share that on the screen? Here we go. All right, and if we can make that a little bit bigger, you'll see on the left-hand side, you've got a user manual, you've got some training videos, and an area where you can give feedback to the people that have created the software. So if you have a question or something you'd like to see or a report you'd like to see, you can submit the software there. We're going to not log in at this point, and we're going to just use the public facing. So, and then I'll show you how to log in. So the first on the left-hand side under public reports, you can see that it says District Bucks Report on the right-hand side at the top. Yeah, there you go. And if you want to make that a little bit wider, you can see. Is there anybody here that has a club that begins with A or B?
Jan's got her hand up.
Okay, Jan, what's the name of your club?
Advocates.
Okay, so a little bit small to see it. Are they there?
Sorry, what was I couldn't hear? What was the club name, Jen?
advocates, ADV.
Advocates.
Okay, at
We may
this
not have anything here.
they do not, but let's just go to, well, one of my clubs is Be Amazing. And so Be Amazing has done an early payment. We paid for 11 members for the first part of the fall. And so they've got $25 there. And then there's a club success plan that we've completed for 50. So we now have $75, and that's Canadian dollars. So if you go on to the link, you can scroll down and find your club. It would be listed alphabetically in this listing. And I wonder if you can go back up to the top, Melody. There we go, we can see. So you can search by the division, you can search by the name. And if you go back to home, you can see a couple of ones down as incentive list. Yeah, that's much better. Thank you. All right, and these are currently the incentives that we've got going. The incentives are not what is expected. It's usually a little bit stretch. So either there's a little bit of a step more that we want, or maybe it's to submit a bit earlier. So for example, early payment, we want 8 members by the 8th of September. And that's the first line there. And Melody, if you want to click the magnifying glass, and you can see there, it gives you a little bit more detail. Renew 8 members by Sunday, September the 8th. Must be an active club with 8 members. Must have 3 club officers, a president, a secretary, and 1 VP. So you need to have 3 members that have renewed from the original club. And members can be new, dual, reinstated that join the club from now till March 31st. Note that the membership can be paid till September. That membership can also be paid right through to September 2026, in which case you would earn the early payment fall and the early payment spring, which will be another incentive. And you can see below that are some of the incentives that are listed there. So the open house, let's click on that one. That one is $50. And Melody, you can either go back, or you can go down to the bottom and just click on the magnifying glass for open house.
Yep, it's
you
here,
can
the
see
summer
it-
fall one.
Yeah, so you can see that to host an open house at your regular club meeting in the months of July to November. So you've got plenty of runway space for that. The club has to submit some sort of promotional flyer or an image or an example of what they use to promote. So it could be an actual poster that's physically in local stores or in the local coffee shop or the library, or it might be an online ad or some sort of proof that you've promoted the attendance. And then attach a document that says, how many guests did we get? How many of those became members? And it can be a screenshot, that's okay too. And then that is incentive is open. You can actually get $50 twice per club for the year. And it's only eligible for clubs with 15 or fewer members at the starting of the open house. So prior to the open house, when you're promoting it, if you're 15 or less, then absolutely you can get $50 reimbursed. And you submit your open house request as soon as you can to get the credit. Now, if you want to go up to the top, Melody, see where it says submit award? That's where you'll go to submit the award. But at this point, you haven't logged in yet. So let's just say it's Be Amazing. And that they had an award. So now the password is the word club, CLUB, and then the dashboard will tell us the club number. So in this case, I'm just going to look it up, make sure I'm giving you the right one. If there's supposed to be 8 digits. If your club only has 2 digits, then you need to put the 6 zeros in front of it. So in this case, Melody is 057-00655. And then you press login.
Sorry, Louisa, what is this login for?
That's for your club to be able to claim the open house.
Okay, thank you.
So you need to submit, you'll need to log in. Otherwise, you won't need to. And then here it's submit request. Submit recognition request. Okay, and then recognition for, and you'll choose the incentive. In this case, it's open house. And then you'll put new request. And you'll go in and under the open house.
Magnifying glass?
Yeah, do the magnifying glass. Okay, so now I need to put a new attachment. I would attach the copy of the promotional flyer. I would put in the name of the date of the open house and the activity date. And the details would be the name of your club, the open house, and you might want to put, we had eight guests, 3 became members, something like that. Or you could attach a piece of paper that says it. And then when that's done, you'd press the word submit. And Nita, I'll get to your question in just a second. Once you've pressed the word submit, then it would come to the administrator, that's me, and I would go in and take a look that everything's correct, that you've attached the information and that yes, you had a submission, and then we would approve it and the $50 would then be added to your account. So go back, Melody, use the back button, and then go back to go back again. Yeah. Okay. So for Nita, let's see if we can go back to the D21 home. And we're going to log out for Be Amazing, and we're going to log into Nita's actual club. And then once, what's the name of your club, Nita?
Richmond Chambers member Toastmasters Club.
Okay. Perfect.
Is this correct?
There it is. Okay. And then I will.
Got it. Sorry. Okay.
Is it there?
RSL. Yeah. Okay.
Okay. And the Richmond Chamber of Commerce members Toastmasters Club is 28677-846 is the number.
28677-846. Okay.
Yeah. And you write the word club. And then when you log in, now at this point, the chamber has got 0 awards, 0 expenses, and the balance is 0. So that's why you weren't seeing it on the previous listing. But if you were to submit a recognition request for open house or for Speechcraft, then we would be able to submit that and you would have it. I'm going to actually answer Amy's question. So Amy, repeat your question for us. And Melody, if you can go to the dashboard and grab. So the password is club and then the 8-digit number with the zeros ahead of it. That is correct, Melody.
Yeah, where do you find the number that's associated with your club?
Your number, you'd find it on the dashboard for Toastmasters. If you type the word dashboard, go to Google, type dashboard and Toastmasters, it'll come up automatically. Or you can go in through Club Central and find it. I like to just type the word dash or dashboard Toastmasters in Google and it'll come up there. Now here's the good news. You only need to submit for open houses because we need proof that you had the open house. And for Speechcraft, we need proof that you ran the Speechcraft. Otherwise, it's automatically done for you. So you saw all those club success plan and early renewals, district bucks listings. Those were all pulled from the statistics that we get and the reports we get from Toastmasters International. And so that'll automatically be done. So once your 7 out of 7 club officers trained is posted in the district central for the leaders and is in the reports and on your distinguished club program dashboard, we will know. And usually the number is right beside the name of the club on your DCP. Do you still need to be less than 15 members for Speechcraft? At this point, we are saying yes, 15 or less members before the Speechcraft happened. If you're 16 or more and you're using it to help build a new club, we will reimburse as well. And we will revisit that if we find we have budget left over in the year. We may revisit that because the Speechcraft is just an incredible opportunity. All right. What questions do you have now regarding the incentive tracker? So really there's just the district bucks report, which shows you the leaderboard, and the incentive list, which shows you what the incentives are. When you log in, you can submit a recognition request, and everything is then automated. I will be moving on to how to do concur.
There's a
So-
question.
Yeah, Carol.
Yes, hi, sorry, I'm not putting my video on because I'm not feeling really well.
Sure, fair enough.
Melody had mentioned while you were out, Louisa,
Uh-huh.
or maybe it was you, that an email was sent to all the treasurers. Were the presidents copied on that email?
No. So what happened was all of the treasurers have now been registered with Concur, which is the way to get reimbursed for the expenses.
Okay.
We did not
Um,
copy the presidents. Where there's no treasurer in the club presidents have been registered. Would you like me to email the presidents?
Well, I don't feel 100% comfortable with the treasurers doing anything with it. Specifically in my top story advanced club. Yeah.
Well, let me take that offline and we can, I believe
Okay.
you're set up already with a Concur account from the past, right?
Okay. All right. Thank you.
Okay. All right. Are there any other questions at this point? Okay. So Melody, I'm going to share
There's
this.
one more question. Sorry. I see Jan's hand is up.
Yeah, go for it, Jen.
At Advocates Toastmasters Club, we have just changed our treasurer on Club Central last week. So how might that change go
Just send
forward?
me a note to tell me who it is, and then I will set up, I need to set up some more Concur accounts for some other leaders in the district anyway. So I'll submit that into headquarters. Usually by the following Friday, it'll be installed, and at that point, they'll be able to use Concur. I appreciate that the Concur piece may be more tricky for some people that are treasurers that have not dealt with Concur before. So there are two options. One option is to email your receipts and the amount that you are wanting to claim in your account to David Noyen, who is our finance manager. However, it may take a bit longer because he needs to do it manually and then also do the e-transfer to you. So we would need to know the amount, which club it is, and where we would be sending the e-transfer by email if that's the way that you're going to go. It does need to be a receipt showing that everything has been paid. It cannot be an invoice showing the amount, but not that it's been paid. So we do definitely need to have a complete receipt. All right.
There's a
And-
different question,
Yeah.
Louisa, which is kind of overlap to PQD stuff. About 7 out of 7 for club officers trained. Do they need to submit anything for
No.
that?
So the club officer training teams have been diligently tracking who gets credit for their club officer trainings. Once those trainings are entered into the system, the District Bucks system, if you have 7 club officers trained, it will, when we update the system, it will update accordingly all of the 7 out of 7s. And I've been going through manually to cross-check it and make sure that it's accurate. The club officer training, while it finishes August 31st, there's a little bit of leeway with headquarters for data entering of the recording of who took their trainings. So it may be that the 7 out of 7 doesn't appear by the 31st of August, but do not worry, we will get those credits in and you will get the funds listed. Coming up is one very exciting incentive, and that is 5 distinguished points by December 31st. So if you can get 5 distinguished points on your distinguished club points in your DCP, you will be getting 50 Canadian dollars added to your district bucks. So watch out for that one. We have another question with Emmanuel.
Yes, so the site that we see right now is called the incentive tracker. So is it the same thing that Concur, or Concur is you taking care of Concur through us putting the data in this website?
So the Concur is a separate application. It's an SAP payment reimbursement system that is used worldwide, and Toastmasters uses it for all leaders around the world to get reimbursements. And I'm going to share my screen now to show you what that Concur looks like. Now, keep in mind that Concur, you probably won't be using Concur until a little bit later on in the season when you've actually earned some of your district bucks and you have a balance to claim against. But let's say you wanted to take the $75 that you've got right now. And so I've put in my Toastmasters.org. This is my membership number with note the zeros. So it needs to be an 8-digit number at Toastmasters.org. And when I press next, it will offer me either a SAP Concur password where you have to use a special app to get that password, or I can sign in with an email link. And then if I go to my email account, I will see the email will come in from SAP. And then I just click on there. Let's just reload it.
So basically, we use the incentive tracker to get our district bucks. And once we have the district bucks, then we can claim stuff with Concur.
Yeah, you claim it back through the Concur system. So here you go. No reply at concur.com. Sign in request to SAP, and I'll click that particular email. And you see it says sign in to SAP Concur, this button right here. And it has my name, so I know it's secure. Once you sign in for the first time in Concur, you will go to your profile. And in the profile, you'll set up the bank account that you have for the club. So in this case, I'm just going to close these up. Emmanuel, do you still have a question, or that is an old one?
No question.
Okay.
Thanks.
Okay, you see the little
Brandon's got a question.
Okay, go ahead. Press the space bar if you're muted.
Oh, it's Raymond Ho here. I'm treasurer of actually 3 clubs. I don't recall seeing an email giving authorization for Concur yet.
It hasn't been sent out yet. We are just
all right. Okay. I thought it was sent out.
last Friday that you got the that all of the Toastmasters treasurers have been registered. So if I open the profile here and I go into profile settings, you can see bank information here. And if I click in here, I can go in and add the bank details so that it'll be transferred into that particular bank account. If you're in multiple clubs, it may be easiest to just send the email to David Noyen, explain it's for this club, and to be reimbursed to the following e-transfer, and then a copy of the expenses. So I would go in there. I'm not going to open it up because for obvious reasons. That is the profile. Once the profile is done, I'm going to go back into Concur, navigate to the home page of Concur. And you can see this is Toastmasters International. So now what I want to do is to start a report. And usually the name of the report, I'll put DB or District Bucks, and then I'll put the name of my club. You don't have to, you can abbreviate it, you just put TM if you want, or TC, Toastmasters Club if you want. And then normally what I'll do is claiming 75 of a balance of $75. So if my receipt is actually only $35, let's say, I'll put claiming $35 of balance of $75. Or maybe I'm claiming $75 of a balance of $75, but my receipt is $102. So I'll just show you how we, and normally what I'll do is put the amazing, the name of the club, District Bucks. And then what I usually do is I just copy this. So I've got it saved, create the report. And I'll be available, and so will David, anytime when you're ready to claim these, so we can take you through it. Once you've done it once or twice, it becomes easier. So let's say I want to add an expense. I could select from available expenses, or I could manually create the expense, or I could scan a receipt. So in which case, you might have a receipt where you upload. So let's just see if I have a receipt in my files that I can use as an example. Expenses. Okay. So I'll just scan this particular receipt. Now once I'm putting it in to scan the receipt, see how it's going processing. What it's doing is scanning and looking for what's the name of the company, what's the amount, is it in Canadian dollars? And you'll see here, it's guessed that Imperial Trophies would be an award, and it's already listed the details. And if I go into the actual expense, you'll see that it has listed most of the information already pre-populated. Now, because it's District Bucks, we're actually going to call this, because it's District Bucks, we're not going to call it awards. We're going to be calling it incentives. If you don't do this, that's fine. David will do it in the back end of the business purpose, District Bucks, reimbursement. You want to match the date of the invoice, which it's already drawn it off of it automatically. It's cash out of pocket. The amount is already there. And then the reporting code, you're going to call it administration. And that is the first one there. It's easy to find it. Just put administration. The moment you put District Bucks, that means that David is going to go in and code it for the what our budget is for the what it is you're claiming. So let's say you're doing Speechcraft, it might be coded in our budget differently. We're just keeping it simple, incentive and then administration. And then the event period is here not applicable. The subsidiary is always going to be district. And then here I just copy paste the words that we had before. And then I'm going to save the expense. If I have a second expense that I want to add in, you just save and add expense. And then once that's done, success, you've cleared all the alerts on this report. It's ready to go. You just print submit report. And then it asks you to submit report one more time. And then within a week, you'll have the transfer from David through into your bank account. I'm going to cancel this because I'm not going to be submitting that particular expense. And that is Concur.
Louisa,
Yes.
there is a question about how to log into Concur. Can you explain that
We will
for
be
everybody?
emailing the treasurers the instructions for how to log into Concur. The login is your 8-digit member number at toastmasters.org. And then it will send automatically to your email address. We've registered your email with that Concur account based on the email you have on Toastmasters profile. But like I said, once you get to the point where you're ready to reimburse, just give me a call. I'll talk you through it, and it'll be all of 10 minutes, not even.
There's another question.
Yep.
Can they accumulate their district bucks?
You can accumulate your district bucks up until June 30th, at which point we need to close down the year. So we will be sending out reminders, and David and I will work closely to be sending e-transfers if we need to. So up until June 30th, 2026, which gives you plenty of time to earn district bucks. The last incentive finishes the end of May. So you'll have an entire month to be claiming incentive expenses without having any more chance to earn anymore. Celia.
Hi, Louisa. Yeah,
Hi.
so I have two questions about the district bucks, not so much about Concur, but with I was looking at the document that I believe my area director sent out about district bucks, and now I see two incentives there. One of them being renew 80%. Sorry, I'm looking at the other screen.
Yeah.
Renew 80% of your club by September 15th. So with this point here, does that include the early renewals that happened before
You can earn
the
both of
GST?
those. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
$25 for submitting 8 members paid by September 8th.
Okay.
And if you started the year with 20 people
Mm-hmm.
and you renew 16, which would be 80% of that 20, then you also get another $25 for that second incentive. So that's $50 available. Now, if your club is 12 or less and you end up renewing for less than 8 members, that would not count because you would need to have 8 members in order to renew. So let's say you have 10 members, 8% of 10, you're good. But if you had 9 members, you'd need to have at least 8 members renew, right?
Okay, to round up the percentage, right? Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Right. And my second question is another member incentive, I believe, renew for more than your base. I'm not sure what it means.
Okay, your base amount is the amount of members you had on July 1.
Okay.
That's your base amount.
Okay. Oh, so it's possible that I can hit the renewal of 80% or more, and also at the same time renew more than my base as of July 1st.
There's 2 incentives. One was for 8 new members by September 8th, and the second one was 80% of your base by September 15th. And then
okay.
That same thing in the spring. So you have a chance for $100 simply for renewing.
Oh, okay, okay. There's one on the other side of circle. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then the last one is within the inner circle, there is this light yellow one that says earn 5 DCP points by December 31st. Because I'm still sort of like new to this board dashboard. Does that mean the goals that we have on the dashboard is?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
That's them. So 5. So you could get let's say you've submitted all your member payments in time, and you've got a
Right.
point there. Maybe you've
Okay.
4 more members. Maybe
Okay.
club officer training in this summer and also in November.
Okay.
And then you just need 1 more point for the education point. You would
Right.
have 5 DCP points, and it would not, there's no minimum number of members for that particular incentive. So it's not
Oh,
distinguished, but it would just be that you have 5 DCP points on the
okay.
dashboard, right?
Okay. Yeah.
And the
Got
thinking there is that if you can get 5 DCP points by December, you've
Mhm.
set yourself up for success for the last half of the year.
Right.
You need to
Okay.
get your membership up to the minimum numbers and
Mhm.
will be distinguished. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Thank you, Louisa.
All right. Any other questions?
Padma's got a question.
Yes.
Hi, Louisa. Thank you. And it's the same
Hey.
question yeah, it is the same question I posted on the chat as well. Is that only the treasurer will receive the email for Concur? And what would happen if, mid-year treasurer drops down and we have a different treasurer?
I'll be refreshing the treasurer's listing in the new year, but if you have got a change in treasurer, or if you prefer your president to be the one submitting, or whatever the situation, just send us a little email and we'll get that concur online, or they can email their receipt to David Noyen.
Okay. Thank you. So, may I understand, Louisa, that Concur is not mandatory if we are emailing David?
Correct.
Thank you,
However,
Louisa.
it will be longer and slower and manual work for David.
Sounds good. Thank you, Louisa.
And, maybe it's a good thing to learn the accounting system of Concur, right? Yeah. All right. So Devin, what do you think of the program?
Well, I do love spending money, so that's always fun, Louisa. Good to understand the ins and outs of the program, and hopefully we can share that with the rest of the District 21 community.
Yeah. So it comes down to there's 3 sections. One is the leaderboard that just says, here's where you're at. And we're constantly reviewing our reports, and we're going to be adding how many points, how many dollars, district bucks you've earned. The second section is the list of what you need to do in order to earn those, so that you're aware. A lot of clubs will look at the list and go, gosh, we could earn $350 here. This is what's being offered. Let's plan out our year so that we get 7 out of 7 trained, that we submit our renewals early, that we get our club success plan in. That one is $50, so that's quite a bit of money. And that we are able to earn and spend those district dollars for our members. And then the third thing is Concur, which is the vehicle in order to get the reimbursements. All right. I think our job is done here. Melody, do you know if Karen is on the call just yet? There
Karen
she
is on the
is.
call.
Dun, 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 with her 100-year symbols behind her. All right. So those of you that are treasurers, first of all, you have got my email.
Louisa, maybe if you could put your preferred email. Thank you.
There it is. So email me anytime if you have any questions about district bucks or anything else. And then finance@d21toastmasters.ca is David Noyen, our finance manager. Again, he's well versed in district bucks as well. And he's the one that can help you with your reimbursements. So I know last year we distributed something like $11,000 worth of incentives. And this year we'll probably be doubling it, given that the size of the group. Right now we've already distributed, or you've earned more than 4,000 Canadian dollars, and it's going to keep going through the year.
Yeah, we had one great testimonial during one of our club officer trainings where a club had earned close to $400 for their club, and it did wonders for them. and
Yeah.
their club and their member experience was that much more enhanced because of it last year. So it was obviously a club that came from District 96.
Yeah.
So it's a learning curve, but yeah, please ask us if you have any questions. The recording for this session, I will be posting the video link in our District Bucks webpage. That's on our D21 site. If you attended today, you'll get an email from us just reminding you where that link is. And spread the word. I'm going to stop the recording here.
Okay, wonderful. Thank you so much.